Hey guys, it's Rachel on my way down. And I guess there's some numbers or something after my name. I noticed somebody mentioned that the other day when I was on a video. They just mentioned me in a video and I'd completely forgot about that. So if anyone was looking me up, on my way down was taken. So I guess YouTube and Instagram added some numbers after my name. Anyways, just so that you don't confuse me with another account, because I know that has happened. But it's been a week or so. I know it's time for me to check back in. I did have the scale did finally drop yesterday. I lost 2 pounds. It'd been like 18 days. My weight had been the same. So the stats go like this: high weight, 363 pounds. Surgery day weight 325. Low, that was in 2017, 7/7/17. Low weight was 174. And that was July of 2018. And then big regain number, June of 2023, 325 pounds. Let's do it all over again. And then as of yesterday, 273 was my weigh-in number. So still going in the right direction. I'm still abstinent of no sugar, no grains, and I feel good about that. I would have checked in sooner this last, I don't know, 7 or 8 days, but lost my voice. I think I just got wore down from all the extra hours at work. And of course, allergies and all the sickness going around. But I got a sinus infection, and then it turned into laryngitis, so I didn't even have a voice. And then I thought, wow, like I'm sitting here at play practice. I thought I really need to check in today because my in-laws have arrived at my house, and they're going to be here for the next week. So I'm just coming on. I'm committing that I'm going to stay strong, even though we're going to be celebrating their birthdays, and we're going to be celebrating my husband's birthday. And they have the family tradition of this really extravagant red velvet cake. But of course, I'm not going to partake in that, because sugar to me is pain and suffering. Like, that's what it'll lead to. So every time I think about it, I just have to think back to that's what it equals. And the path that will lead me down is dark sugar blues. Somebody asked how I even came up with the idea that I was a food addict. I really don't love that term. I don't think it describes it very well, because it's not like an addiction to all food. It's really just like a chemical, neurotransmitter imbalance that gets set off when you have sugar and you've had too much sugar for too many years. And so, sugar addiction or processed food addiction, since everything turns to sugar, I think are better terms. But it's hard to get the right terminology when the majority of the medical field don't even want to consider or recognize that it is an actual problem. It really shocks me that our country can so easily accept pornography addiction or gambling addiction or alcoholism, and alcoholism and like cocaine addiction. When you take the brain imaging, you can't tell the difference. I think you put 3 images up there, and I don't think that 99% of doctors could pick out what addiction went with which, and the brain is lit up all the same way. And so it's really amazing to me that even though we, a group of people have tried to get it into the diagnostic manual for physicians, that there's still so much fight against it for really silly reasons. But one valid reason is not a lot of research has been done. I was reading in that Ultra Processed People book, the book that I talked about last time, inviting y'all to come to the book club, which anyways is still open if anyone wants to join. But in one of the chapters, there was a 2019 study, and they took these people, they're all inpatient, and half the group was on an ultra processed food diet. The other half was on a whole foods diet. They used the same kind of ingredients. So for instance, if the processed food people had a frozen pizza, then the whole food group also had a pizza. It was just all made with whole foods that hadn't been overly processed, they made their own bread, they made their own sauce, just had, fresh meat from the butcher. And, just kind of think about it in your mind, after doing this for, I think, was it an 8-week study? I'd have to look it up. I think it was, it was a month or two long study. So of course it cost a lot of money, to do. But the results were pretty amazing. At the end of the time, the ultra processed food group, they on average ate an extra 500 calories a day. And even though the whole food group was allowed to eat all they wanted, they were satisfied with so much less food that they actually lost weight. They naturally lost all the weight that the other group gained, which just tells a huge story. So they also tried to eliminate, all the extra factors, as far as outlying conditions, and they tried to match the group so closely. It really, really amazed me. And it came down to, it wasn't the ingredients, it was the processing is what they were trying to point out. I never would have believed that was true. I don't know. It was just really, really shocked me. The only bad thing is what we all know is it cost about, on average, 50% more for the whole food group. And it wasn't that their food was unappetizing, like the chefs really prepared the whole food group up, really nice meals that were so similar to the ultra processed food, which we all know is possible. It just takes more time and energy. But someone asked me, like I said, how did I even come up with this idea of sugar addiction, processed food addiction? And it's just slowly been a revelation. When I started trying to regain control in June, I didn't immediately go for no sugar, no grains. I was kind of doing low carb, and then that led to just one person saying, have you ever read the book Food Junkies? And that's really what started the snowball effect of wow. And so if I was going to suggest anything, I'd say to start there. Just read the Food Junkies book. It's available for free at the library, Libby Library app, or Hoopla. You can just download it on your phone, get your free library subscription, and it'll download it to your phone. Like, you don't have to drive anywhere, you don't have to do anything. It's not a long read. It's not wrote in super technical terms or anything, which I have to admit, this ultra processed people book is written more technical than I think most people, so it hasn't been a very successful book club this month. Hardly anyone's participating because I just think it's overly technical, but I do enjoy reading scientific studies and stuff, so I'm definitely going to stick with it. But after I read the Food Junkies book, then it was about joining the Sugar Free for Life I'm Sweet Enough support group. And then it was about diving into the podcast, and then it was about ordering other books, and then it was about joining the Zoom meetings for small group support. And so that's just kind of how it all transpired. But a couple of doctors, they really summed it up well. Like, if you're wondering if you are in this group, like, I wish someone would have told me this. Basically 35 years ago. I've struggled with this since I was, I'd say, at least 5 years old, my earliest memories. But the doctor said, do you lie, cheat, and steal surrounding food? Do you lie to yourself? If you're keeping track or anything, do you not keep accurate track, even though when someone asks, what'd you have for dinner or something, do you lie? Do you take food off your children's plates? Are you doing dishes just so you can, steal a few extra bites of food? That kind of stuff. Come to find out, it's not normal behavior. Do you have uncontrollable cravings? Is it hard to satisfy those urges? Does it lead to binging? Do you have a weight problem? Do you eat differently in public versus in private? These are all huge red flags. So the research says that only 8 to 10% of us struggling with weight, and there's even some normal weight individuals that have processed food addiction. Oftentimes they just have coupled it with anorexia or bulimia. So that doesn't rule you out if you do not have a weight problem. I say you don't have an overweight or obesity problem. But they say that only 8 to 10% of us that struggle with obesity, have the food addiction, sugar addiction, processed food addiction, whatever name y'all want to put on it. I tend to think that the number is much, much higher. I think that I've just been coming to this realization that people aren't motivated to help us get well and to help us get healthy. The food industry stands to make too much money. The medical industry makes too much money. And the diet industry makes too much money. And if everyone had a free way to lose weight, just abstinent, didn't cost anything, we just have this mutual support online here, whether it was fasting or whether it was abstinent, whatever it is, these free things, no medicine, no surgery, no injections, then $1 billion industry would be crippled. And so I think that, I hate it. I hate it that money rules the world. I think that it's hurting us in a lot of different ways. But if you get to this point where you're answering yes to all these questions, then it comes down to the 12 steps. The 12 steps, just like it's alcohol or Narcotics Anonymous, anything like that. Food addiction is the same way. So it's surrendering and admitting you have the problem and that life has become unmanageable. It's believing that your higher power or God can restore the sanity. And it's that commitment and asking for help. Like that's the first, like 4 things. I'll try to link below the list to Food Addiction Anonymous below that has all the different steps. I haven't joined the group with the short name FA. I honestly just don't feel like I had the time to commit my food to a sponsor every day, and their food plan is a little strict for me right now. Like I've admitted to you all, I'm definitely in the harm reduction. Like I do want to have some artificial sweeteners right now. I don't know if that's affecting me. Like I feel pretty peaceful. I don't feel like it's a big problem. We'll see the farther I get out. I am 102. I think I'm 102 days sober of sugar. So round of applause for me. That's a big deal, and it's unlike I've ever been before. And so it's the hardest because it's so extreme and you have to plan ahead, but it's the easiest because I've never been at peace. I've never been at peace like this. I've never had the urges, the cravings go away like they have right now. And that says a lot considering all the crazy things I've done in my 39 years of life. So anyways, I'm not going to keep y'all any longer. Hopefully in a week I'll come back and tell you that I did good, even though I have company here. And when you cook more, you have more people around and more food and birthday cake. Hopefully I can come back and say that I stayed strong through it all, even with the extra stress. Definitely gonna try to get home and get some sleep. So anyways, love you all. I'm gonna keep fighting the battle and keep trying to beat obesity. Bye.